Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, you can never have too much RAM. An angry professor and his coffee-damaged laptop gave me enlightenment and laughs. Your father deleted all my files. Oh, so I don't have to delete my files one by one? Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. You can never have too much RAM. A few years back, I was running a small tech support company. The company isn't around anymore for various reasons, but I did get several good stories out of it. This is one of my favorites. Keep in mind that this happened several years ago, somewhere around 2012, so my memory may be a bit fuzzy on the exact details. I got a call one day from a guy who ran a local store that sold workout supplements and equipment. His POS, point of sale, terminal kept blue screening. As it was his only way of tracking inventory and taking credit cards, he was understandably concerned. When I arrived a little while later, I found the owner sitting at the POS terminal browsing the internet. Turns out the POS terminal was in fact just an old desktop he had installed his POS software on and used for entertainment when things were slow. After introducing myself, he explained that the PC would just randomly crash while he is using the internet and, of course, insisted that he wasn't doing anything unusual that would cause a crash. I took a seat at the computer and started poking around to see what I could find. Deprived of his precious cat memes, the owner wandered off to the back room. Unfortunately, he was the only employee at the time, and as I was the one sitting at the checkout counter, customers started coming to me with their questions. They usually went something like this. Customer, excuse me? What supplement would you recommend for my? Me, wow. That sounds terrible. But I don't work here. The manager just went to the back for a few minutes. You could ask him when he gets back up here. After which the slightly confused-looking customer would wander off. Between distractions, I managed to find several out-of-memory crashes listed in the event log that matched up with the times the owner had given me. I pulled up the system specs and saw it was running 4 GB of RAM. Should be enough for what he was using the computer for. Around then the owner came back up to check on my progress. Owner, any luck? Me, it looks like your computer is running out of RAM just before it crashes. But you should have enough for what you're using it for. You said you were just browsing the internet when it crashed? What browser do you use? Owner, Chrome. Me, well, Chrome is known as a bit of memory hog, but I've never heard of it eating all of a PC's RAM like this. I'll keep looking into it. Don't worry. I'll get it fixed. Owner, good. It's a huge hassle to have to reopen all 500 tabs every few days. Me, oh, I'm sure it. Wait. What? Did you say 500 tabs? Owner, well, I'm not sure the exact number, but I think that's about what I'm up to every time it crashes. Me, but. What do you even need 500 tabs for? Owner, I just like to keep a record of what all the websites I go to are. So I just open every link in a new tab. After wiping the horrified expression off of my face and replacing it with my professional technician look, I explained that this was likely the source of his problem, and that the simplest fix would be to just stop opening so many tabs and use browser history instead. Owner, I can't do that. History isn't detailed enough. I need my tabs. Isn't there some other fix? We decided to run a test to make sure this was actually the problem before going any further. After making sure that all of his data was saved and backed up, I set Chrome to open his homepage with every new tab. He was using Yahoo Open Task Manager to monitor the RAM usage and started spamming the new tab button. It didn't take long before nearly all of the 4 GB was being used, and performance had dropped considerably. But Windows was doing a good job of preventing it from topping out. Every new tab increased RAM usage, but whenever it got too close it would drop by several hundred MB. Either Windows was moving stuff to the paging file, or Chrome was shutting off older tabs. Each time this cycle repeated, it would take just a little bit longer to reduce the RAM. I could almost feel Windows groaning under the strain. Finally, somewhere around the high 400s it gave out, and I was greeted by the infamous blue screen of death. Me, well, it looks like that was your problem. If you could just use less tabs, you should be fine. Owner, that's really not an option. You said it was running out of RAM. Can I just buy more RAM? Me, hesitantly you could, but I can't guarantee that would fix your problem. There might just be some kind of unavoidable issue in Chrome once you get to that many tabs. Manager, I'll take that chance. There's a Best Buy next door. Can you get some RAM there and install it today? Me, it's cheaper if I order the parts through my own supplier. But that might take a couple of days. Owner, I just want as much RAM as I can get today. I'll pay whatever that costs. And so, about an hour later, I was running my test again on 16 gigabytes of RAM. After about 600 tabs with no crash, I declared victory, collected my check and left the delighted owner to trying to see how many tabs he could open now. The money is no object customers were always my favorite. An angry professor and his coffee-damaged laptop gave me enlightenment and laughs. Me, the green and keen PFY, junior sysadmin/support person, in the computer science department at a large state university, a couple decades ago. My first real job. Prof, the one rude and surly professor in a department otherwise full of wonderful people. PhD in computer science, but known for printing out his emails before reading them. Had two moods, yelling and yelling loudly. Boss, senior sysadmin, my boss, an effortless genius at solving bureaucratic and people problems. Unflappably polite, but also didn't take crap from professor. Scene, the CS lab. I was hard at work on something or other when Prof burst in. He never just entered quietly. He always burst in without any pleasantries and left without the door. Boss was respectful to Prof, but didn't take crap from him. So naturally when Prof wanted to yell and badger at someone, I, being the PFY, was an easier target. This particular incident occurred about a week after he had used some grant money to buy the fanciest, most expensive laptop anyone in the department had ever seen, which he used for the arduous tasks of running Notepad and printing emails. Prof, yelling, "This laptop is broken. I demand that you fix it immediately." Me, let me take a look. Looks like you spilled coffee all over the keyboard. Prof, yelling loudly, "That is a ridiculous accusation. I resent that. I never drink coffee near the laptop. I'm a professor. Don't talk to me like that. I'm telling boss how rude you were." I wasn't super worried. Boss knew this guy. And how often his printed out emails had coffee stains on them. I looked closer and, before thinking, blurted out dash. Me. And cream, it would seem. Prof finds boss, calls him over, and angrily escalates to boss in my presence. Prof. And so I demand you fix it immediately. Boss, it doesn't even power up. We can't fix that. It'll have to go back to Gateway. Prof, it's under warranty. Make them fix it. Boss lets him dig the hole nice and deep. Boss, warranty won't cover a coffee spill. Prof, IT wasn't a coffee spill. I demand a warranty repair. Immediately. And we won't pay 1 cent for it. Exit professor. Now I am a green and keen PFY. What would Lassie do now? Me, what on earth do we do here? Boss gets a sly smile. Boss, ship it in for a warranty repair like he asked. Me, but won't they just reject it? Boss, of course. Me, but, Boss's smile deepens. Boss, and make sure to document for them that we refuse to pay even 1 cent for repair, just as Prof said. And so begins my enlightenment. Off goes the laptop. Prof stops by every day for the next week or two, asking if the laptop's back, if we've heard anything, etc. I'm sure the pain of having to print his email from a mere average computer was really getting to him. Finally, we get a package back from Gateway. I was about to open it, but boss says no. He calls up Prof to tell him his laptop is back. Prof, of course, rushes over immediately. Prof, so it's back. Does it work? Boss, here it is. We haven't opened it yet. Prof almost looks excited as he opens the box. There's the laptop with a repair order on top reading: warranty claim denied. Rejection reason: system board damaged by dried brown and white liquid and smells of burnt coffee. It also, to add insult to injury hilarity, included a bill for the return shipping fee. Prof stood there staring. He literally got red in the face. He yelled some more. Loudly. Boss and I just sat there, trying hard not to grin too obviously. Finally. Prof, well, how do I get it fixed then? Boss, pay for the repair. Prof, all right then, send it back. Prof then looked at each of us intently, in an almost threatening manner. Prof, but it wasn't coffee. Got that? It wasn't coffee. Your father deleted all my files. So, my mother, definitely not of the computer generation, learned how to type on a manual typewriter, while Dad was into electronics early and got his degree so he knows computers, called me into our computer room one day, and she was absolutely livid. Your father deleted all my files. What? Why would he do that? I don't know. But I went into Word to access my church files, and they were gone. He used it last. He deleted all my files. Well, let me see what I can do. If the recycle bin hasn't been emptied yet, I can restore them. Nothing new in the recycle bin, and it has old stuff in it, so it hasn't been emptied. They're not deleted. Maybe he just moved them somewhere else. Where were they stored before? My documents? No, not your documents. You have your own computer. They're my documents on this computer. And your father deleted them. No, Mom, I mean the folder called My Documents. It's the default storage place for newly created documents. See? You open this folder here, and then you can see all the documents on the computer. Oh, that. But that's not where I saved them to. Okay, where did you save them? Word. You created them in Word, yes, but where did you save them? In Word. I saved them in Word. I pushed the little button with the floppy disk on it. That is how you saved them, but where did you save them? In Word. Will you listen to me, please? I saved them in Word. You can't save things in Word. It's not a location. It's certainly is. I saved them in Word. I've always saved them in Word, and now, your father used the computer, and they are gone. Aha. Okay, show me, please. She then proceeded to go to the File menu, and down at the bottom, where the 4 most recent documents were listed, lo and behold, Dad had opened 4 new documents, and hers were gone. They were in My Documents, of course. I opened them for her, and told Dad to always be sure to open up Mom's 4 church documents just before closing out Word. I wondered what would happen if she ever needed a 5th church document. Oh, so I don't have to delete my files one by one? This is just a shorty, but it still managed to make my day. So this lady came in the other day, picking up her replacement iPhone. You can tell she has no certificate in computering, but she's always very nice and understanding. We go through the process of configuring the new device, but we failed to restore her backup because she can't think of the password she set earlier. She said that's no big deal, she doesn't have too much personal data on her phone anyway. So I set her up with her account and stuff and ask her if she's ready to turn in her old iPhone, but her yes sounded a little hesitant, so I told her to keep it for another day or two, just to be safe. So far, so normal. The next day, I get a chat from her asking a generic question about the new device, followed by something along the lines of, "I realized I need to delete my personal data, notes, emails, photos, etc. May I keep it for another week? Let me know if you have any constraints on it." To which I respond with, "No worries, take your time. In order to perform a reset on your iPhone, just how to reset." No response for a while. "Oh, so I don't have to delete my files one by one? Thanks for that info, Julian Unso, you already saved me a lot of time." Well,